Hey everybody, welcome to Heart to Heart. This is part 2 of the Get to Place, and I am Coach Jackie if you don't know who I am, and we provide nuggets from the Word of God. We call it grace, little gems, grace in motion, so that you can take the Word in bite-sized pieces, get an understanding, and then apply it to your life, getting grace in motion. Well, we left off on getting to that get to place, and I wanted to get this done just in case someone wasn't able to listen in on Friday night. Pause, because it's such a valid message, I believe, right now, because God needs us. It's about us getting into place, because that is the only place that God, in our assignment, that God is obligated to provide for us, for provision, if we're in the place, in the assignment that He's called us to. And we are coming from 1 Kings 17:9. Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Sidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. God is talking to the prophet Elijah. He was very specific about where He told him to go. He was very specific that there was a certain widow woman. So there was a specific person. So specific place, specific purpose for sustainment. And get this, your place, that prepared place, and that commanded person is waiting for you. Their blessing is tied to you being in the place that you're supposed to be. She didn't even know that she was supposed to, that she was commanded to sustain the prophet. She didn't know it until he showed up. She was preparing the last meal for herself and her son to eat and to die. And then the prophet showed up with a word of God to fix me a cake first, and then for yourself and your son, and the meal shall not fail. It will continue. Her blessing was tied up in him being where he was supposed to be, and her being obedient to that commandment. Dr. Walnut once said something, two things that I never forgot. Sometimes he said, you're going to have to step into it before anything happens. You know, sometimes you just got to take the step. And another one of my mentors says that we're causative. The earth, the universe is not going to give anything back to you until you make the first step. That's just a law. And then it responds. So proximity is power, being in the right place, doing the right things with the right people. There's power in that. And now we're finding out that, that there is provision in that as well. God has already commanded the blessing upon us. So, but we've got to be in the place doing what He's called us to do, and doing it with whom He's called us to be doing it with. Your place, your Zarephath, the place you're called to be, your assignment could be at a certain church. It could be a ministry. It could be a job. It could be your business. It could be at home, you being a stay-at-home mom or dad. It could be a new mindset that you need to think. And it could be for a season, or it could be for a time. But remember the brook Cherith dried up in this same chapter. He was sent there first, and the ravens were there to feed him and sustain him. But then it dried up and God sent him to another place, right, for provision. That was commanded to sustain him in that same chapter before being sent to Zarephath. The important thing is to do, be, have, use, and go where God commands. I want us, I'm right in here with you, I want you to go confidently into the direction of your dreams. Be there, show up, hold your image, use what's in your hand and in your house. Someone is waiting for you, and someone is waiting for me. Now let's get to it. Where do you need to be? Where do you need to get to? Let's get grace in motion. Here's what God said to Moses. I know you've been praying, and I know you've been trying to figure it all out, but here's what God said to Moses in Exodus 14, 15, and 16 from the Living Bible. Quit praying and get the people moving forward. march. Use your rod. Use what's in your hand. Hold it out over the water. Hold your image, and the sea will the sea will open up a path before you, and all the people of Israel shall walk through on dry ground. Do you see this again? All the people will walk through on dry ground. All the people, their provision, their protection, their destiny was hinged on Moses doing what he's supposed to do, stretching the rod, holding his image, and moving the people forward in faith. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. This has been your Heart to Heart with Coach Jackie. Blessings.